Okay, so here's something to think about. More than 90% of airline industry profits last year came from just two carriers, Delta and United. That's not just a statistic, it's a story about how the economy is shifting.
That's wild. And it ties right into today's first story, doesn't it? Let's get into it.
Welcome to DeActa Daily Digest. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Juniper. Here are today's top stories.
So this idea of a premium economy, it's such a fascinating way to frame what's happening right now. The article talks about how more people are moving into this upgraded tier of spending, but it's not all good news. What stood out to you?
Oh, so much. The fact that the upper middle class has grown from 10% of families in 1979 to 31% in 2024 is huge. But then you have this glaring issue. Nearly 40% of Americans don't own their homes. It's like people are earning more and spending more, but they're still locked out of traditional milestones like home ownership.
Exactly. And that's what makes this shift so interesting. People are redefining what it means to make it. Instead of buying homes, they're spending on things like better flights, nicer groceries, and travel experiences. It's aspirational, but it also feels like a compromise.
Right, and it's not just about individual choices, it's reshaping entire industries. Spirit Airlines, for example, is struggling because people are willing to pay a little extra for better service on carriers like Delta and United. Meanwhile, Walmart is thriving because it's managed to upgrade its image while still offering value. It's this fascinating balancing act.
Yeah, and the data really backs it up. The article mentioned that Delta and United generated over 90% of the airline industry's profits last year. That's a staggering number. It shows how consumers are prioritizing quality over just saving money, even in a tough economy.
And it's not just airlines. The article also highlighted how Hilton's mid-tier brands are expanding, and Walmart is pulling customers away from Dollar General by investing in cleaner stores and faster services like curbside pickup. It's clear that people are willing to spend more for a better experience, even if they're not reaching those traditional markers of wealth.
But here's the thing. This isn't just about spending habits. It's about identity. People want to feel like they've moved up in the world. Even if they're not hitting those classic milestones like home ownership, it's almost like the American dream has been rebranded.
That's such a good point. And it's interesting how this shift is being framed. The article mentioned that the K-shaped economy metaphor might not fully capture what's happening. Instead, we're seeing this rise of a premium economy where people are clustering in this middle tier of spending. It's not just about two diverging paths, it's more nuanced than that.
Totally. And I thought it was interesting how the Hilton CEO predicted a C-shaped economy in the future, where spending becomes more evenly distributed across income levels. He's optimistic that lower inflation, interest rates, and AI investments could boost purchasing power for low and middle income households. Do you think that's realistic?
I think it's possible, but it's going to take a lot more than just lower inflation and interest rates. The structural issues like the cost of housing and healthcare aren't going away anytime soon. So while people might feel a little less squeezed, I don't see a major shift happening without deeper systemic changes.
Exactly. And in the meantime, we're seeing this cultural shift where experiences are becoming the new markers of success. It's like people are saying, if I can't own a home, at least I can live well in other ways. It's fascinating, but also kind of bittersweet.
It really is. And it's a reminder of how much the economy shapes not just our spending habits, but our sense of identity and success. But let's move on to the second story. Trump and the Iran deal. This one's a big one. What's your take?
Oh, where do I even start? Trump defending himself against his own party isn't exactly new, but the stakes here are incredibly high. The idea of striking a deal to end the conflict with Iran is huge, but it's also incredibly divisive. Republican hawks are calling it a disaster, and Trump is doubling down, insisting it's nothing like the 2015 deal. It's classic Trump, defiant, combative, and very much in the spotlight.
And his insistence that there can be no mistakes is such a loaded statement. We're talking about a region that's been a geopolitical powder keg for decades. The margin for error is razor thin. And the fact that he's keeping the maritime blockade in place while negotiations continue, It's like he's trying to project strength, but it also feels like a high stakes gamble.
Definitely. And his use of social media to push back against critics is so on brand. Calling them losers and accusing them of condemning something they don't understand, it's pure Trump. But it does raise the question, how much of this is about genuine diplomacy and how much is about optics and legacy?
That's a great point. Trump's always been focused on his image, and this deal, if it happens, could be a major part of how he defines his second term. But it's a risky move. If it goes well, he could claim credit for ending a conflict that's been dragging on for years. If it goes poorly, it could be a huge liability.
And let's not forget the broader implications. A deal with Iran could shift the balance of power in the Middle East, impact global oil markets, and even influence U.S. relations with allies like Israel and Saudi Arabia. It's a domino effect.
Exactly. It's a reminder that foreign policy is never just about one country or one issue. It's this intricate web of interests and alliances. And Trump's approach, bold, unpredictable, sometimes reckless, makes it all the more intriguing.
Intriguing is one word for it. Stress-inducing might be another. But let's switch gears to the third article. This one's a bit lighter. A tweet about the NBA getting a shout-out on Inside the NBA. What did you think?
I loved it. It's such a fun story, and it highlights how social media can create these unexpected moments of connection. The guy tweets a joke about the Eastern Conference Finals, and next thing you know, Shaq is laughing about it on national TV. It's such a cool, relatable moment.
Totally. And I love how it ties into this larger narrative about the NBA's resurgence. Between Victor Wembanyama's rise as a generational talent and NBC returning to the league's broadcast lineup, it feels like basketball is having a moment. And shows like Inside the NBA are a big part of that. Their mix of humor, analysis, and chemistry is just unmatched.
Absolutely, and the fact that this guy's son is a fan of the show, it adds this sweet, personal touch to the story. It's a reminder of how sports can bring people together, whether it's through watching games, sharing memes, or just laughing at Charles Barkley and Shaq roasting each other.
It's true. And it's interesting how Wembanyama has become this catalyst for renewed interest in the NBA. He's not just a great player, he's a phenomenon. People are tuning in just to see what he'll do next. It's like he's single-handedly expanding the league's audience.
Exactly. And it's not just about the games, it's about the stories, the personalities, the culture. Shows like Inside the NBA tap into that, and it's why they resonate with so many people. It's more than just basketball, it's entertainment.
Well said. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? From the premium economy to Trump's Iran deal to the NBA's resurgence, what's the common thread?
I think it's about adaptation. Whether it's consumers redefining success, politicians navigating high-stakes diplomacy, or sports fans rediscovering their love for the game, people are finding ways to adjust to a changing world. It's messy, it's complicated, but it's also kind of inspiring.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, I think we'll leave it there. Plenty to think about, as always.
Definitely. Until next time.